If you're over 60, one simple habit after dinner could quietly raise your risk of a heart attack or stroke with no warning, no symptoms, and no pain. You settle down to watch TV after your meal, feeling fine, ready to relax. But by morning, you wake up with numbness, chest pains, or a feeling of exhaustion you can't understand. As a clinical nutritionist, I've seen it far too many times. Older adults, healthy on the outside, suddenly struck down by major health problems they never saw coming. And it wasn't from smoking, fast food, or a lack of exercise. No, it came from the way they behaved after their evening meal. Yes, a habit so ordinary, so reassuring, could quietly trigger a chain reaction in your body and brain. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 common habits after dinner that may seem harmless, even comforting, but could be raising your risk of heart attack, stroke, or digestive issues, especially if you're over 60. Some of these will shock you because no one ever warns seniors about them, so stay with me until the end. What you're about to learn might not only save your health, it could save your life. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoyed this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Dangerous habit number 1: lying down or napping immediately after a meal. There's something deeply relaxing about lying down after a good meal. The feeling of fullness soothes the senses, the body slows down, and for many older adults, it feels like the perfect way to unwind after a long day. But as a health professional, I must warn you, what feels comforting on the outside can quietly become a silent danger on the inside. For someone over 60, a nap or lying down immediately after dinner can set the stage for severe acid reflux or even mask a cardiac emergency. Here's why. When you lie down, gravity can no longer help your stomach keep food and acids contained. These acids can quietly rise into your esophagus, causing heartburn. But what's even more dangerous is that the pain of this reflux can mimic the signs of a heart attack. For an older person whose symptoms are already less obvious, this confusion can delay vital medical care. Furthermore, slowed digestion in a horizontal position can cause bloating, gas, and discomfort that disrupt the quality of your sleep and increase your internal stress. I'll never forget one of my patients, Mr. Bernard, a 74-year-old retired postal worker. He had a ritual of taking a long nap on the sofa after every evening meal. It was the one time of day he felt truly relaxed. One evening after his usual nap, he felt an intense burning sensation in his chest, radiating to his left arm. Panicked, he was rushed to the hospital. Scans and tests confirmed what I feared. He had suffered massive gastric reflux that had triggered a cardiac alarm. The pain was so close to that of a heart attack that he could have died from a delay in treatment. What he thought was a harmless comfort had quietly betrayed him. This is the danger no one tells seniors. Your body at 70 does not respond like it did at 30. The lying down position that soothes your muscles also steals stability from your digestion. The longer you lie down, the more your body is at risk. So before you lie down tonight after dinner, remember that what feels soothing might actually be starving your stomach. Dangerous habit number 2: drinking ice-cold water after a hot meal. For many older adults, it feels natural to finish a hot dinner with a large glass of ice-cold water. After all, it's refreshing and seems to help wash the food down. But what most seniors don't realize is that this timing can quietly create one of the most dangerous conditions for digestion. When you ingest ice-cold water, your blood vessels in the stomach contract instantly. This is the shock of the cold. This process, called vasoconstriction, slows down digestion by preventing the necessary blood flow to digestive enzymes. In other words, your body diverts energy and resources from digestion to manage this temperature shock. Food remains in your stomach longer, ferments, and can cause bloating, cramps, and a heavy feeling that can last all night. Moreover, this shock can also weaken your stomach, making it more. I once treated a patient named Mrs. Fournier, a 76-year-old retired teacher who loved her routines. Every night, she would finish her dinner with a large glass of ice-cold water. She felt it was the perfect way to prepare for sleep. One evening, not long after finishing her glass, she suddenly felt severe stomach cramps and numbness. She collapsed onto the bathroom floor, thinking it was food poisoning. By the time her daughter found her, she was struggling to get up. At the hospital, we confirmed she had suffered a shock reaction in her stomach, which triggered a drop in blood pressure that caused her fall. The ice-cold water, which she thought was a perfect routine, had in fact starved her stomach and made her vulnerable. This is what I want older adults to understand. Your body can no longer afford these sudden thermal shocks. At 60, 70, or 80, the digestive system is less resilient and more vulnerable to shock. Dangerous habit number 3. Strenuous exercise after a big meal. For many older adults, it's tempting to think, I just ate, I'll do a little exercise to burn off those calories. It's a commendable thought, but what seems like a good choice can actually be one of the most dangerous moments of the day. Strenuous exercise after a large meal can trigger a stroke or a heart attack. Here's what happens inside your body. When you eat a big meal, your body redirects blood to your stomach and intestines to begin digestion. If you exercise immediately afterward, your muscles also need a blood supply. Your body, which is a system, cannot effectively divide its blood between digestion and strenuous exercise. The result is a dangerous blood competition. Your brain and heart, which need a constant flow of blood, can end up with an insufficient supply. Circulation in your brain slows down, blood vessels contract, and the risk of a clot increases significantly. I remember a patient, Mr. Wallace, a 79-year-old retired mechanic who was proud of his daily routine. He lived alone, and his great habit was to take a long, brisk walk in his neighborhood after dinner. One evening, after a 20-minute walk, he returned home staggering, feeling terribly dizzy. A few minutes later, he collapsed in his hallway. By the time his neighbors found him, he could no longer speak properly. At the hospital, we discovered he had suffered a major ischemic stroke. The combination of intense exercise after a large meal had slowed his cerebral circulation and allowed a clot to form that cut off oxygen to his brain. What seemed to him like a healthy routine had nearly cost him his life. This is the hidden truth. After 60, your body can no longer handle long periods of cardiovascular stress right after a meal. The heart works harder, the brain struggles for circulation, and every extra minute you exercise intensely increases your risk. It triggers strokes, it forms blood clots, and once the damage is done inside the brain, recovery is never guaranteed. Dangerous habit number 4. Taking certain medications with a large meal. For many seniors, it's convenient to take evening medications after a meal to avoid forgetting them. But what most people don't realize is that some medications are not designed to be taken with a large meal. This habit can cause unexpected and dangerous side effects. When you take medication with a meal, its absorption can be affected. Some medications, especially those for blood pressure and the heart, can be slowed down or amplified by food. Fats, for example, can slow down the absorption of a drug, making its dose less effective. A meal high in salt can have the opposite effect on a hypertension medication. The result is that you could have a sudden and dangerous drop in blood pressure, or conversely, a rapid and dangerous increase without any warning. I'll never forget my patient, Mrs. Duval, a 79-year-old grandmother. She was taking medication for her heart and blood pressure. One evening, she took her medication after a big holiday meal. In the morning, her daughter called to check on her and noticed her words were slurred. When she arrived at the house, she could no longer speak clearly. At the hospital, imaging confirmed she had suffered a stroke. The combination of the meal, a high sugar level, and her medication had created a perfect storm, leaving her brain vulnerable. This is what I need you to understand. After 60, the body does not metabolize medications in the same way. Adding a large meal right after medication is like playing Russian roulette with your health. The risk is real, and it builds silently until the moment it strikes. Dangerous habit number 5. Eating sugary desserts late at night. For many older adults, a sweet dessert after dinner is an innocent pleasure. It's a reward for getting through the day. But as a nutritionist, I must warn you, a sugary dessert can create a cascade of problems for your sleep, your heart, and your brain. When you eat a sugary dessert, your blood sugar level skyrockets, which stresses your pancreas. Later in the night, that same sugar will suddenly collapse, creating a condition called nocturnal hypoglycemia. Your brain is deprived of energy during sleep, which can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night confused, disoriented, or with nightmares. Furthermore, this blood sugar roller coaster can disrupt the quality of your deep sleep, which is essential for your body's repair and memory consolidation. I remember a patient, Mrs. Carter, a 79-year-old grandmother. She was independent and sharp-minded. Every night, around 11 p.m., she would serve herself a big bowl of ice cream, thinking it was the perfect way to relax. But one morning, her daughter called to check on her and noticed her words were slurred. When she arrived at the house, she could no longer speak clearly. At the hospital, imaging confirmed she had suffered a stroke. The combination of the meal, a high sugar level, and her medication had created a perfect storm, leaving her brain vulnerable. This is what I need you to understand. After 60, the body does not metabolize medications in the same way. Adding a large meal right after medication is like playing Russian roulette with your health. The risk is real, and it builds silently until the moment it strikes. The truth about post-dinner habits and protecting your health. After going through these 5 habits, you may be feeling surprised, even shaken. For decades, you believed that a post-dinner routine was nothing more than a daily habit, something safe, ordinary, and comforting. But as we age, nothing in the body remains the same. What relaxed you at 40 may quietly betray you at 70. The truth is simple but sobering. Aging changes everything. Your heart no longer pumps as strongly. Your vessels are stiffer, less flexible, and more fragile. Your brain, your most delicate organ, depends on a constant balance. Even something as innocent as a dessert can disrupt this balance if it comes at the wrong time. But here's the hope. Knowledge is power. By simply adjusting how you act after dinner, you can protect yourself from these hidden dangers. Do not lie down immediately after a meal. Drink warm water rather than ice cold. Avoid strenuous exercise and talk to your doctor about how to take your medications. And most importantly, never ignore the signals your body sends you. Dizziness, sudden weakness, or confusion are not normal signs of aging. They are warnings. I have seen firsthand how quickly life can change. Independence lost in a single night, speech gone in a single moment. But I have also seen how simple changes, awareness, and good timing can help seniors stay sharp, stable, and safe for many years. So, the next time you sit down after dinner, remember that you are not fragile, but you are different. Respect your body, respect your brain, and give it the care it deserves. Your health, your memory, and your independence are worth far more than a moment of comfort. Protect them wisely. Your future depends on it.